Greetings, demons, and welcome to Warhammer Weekly, episode 75. So this time around, we do have a few little reveals from the Nova Open preview, which obviously I'm going to go over in this video, but I do not have any pickups to go over, so we're just going to get straight into the topics, and yeah, roll this intro.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
So, starting off, before we get into the Nova Open reveals and previews and stuff like that, I just want to quickly go over a recent article relating to the Combat Patrol subscription magazine, and yeah, my basic thoughts. I think I've mentioned a few of these things previously about Combat Patrol. It's been a mess. I got given a book as like a thank you for signing up early. I still have yet to receive my issue 1. I think it's coming out soon. I got a letter telling me that it would be already with me by now. They haven't charged me yet, so it's all good. But yeah, I have a lot of various issues with the Warhammer subscription magazines. It is what it is, though. I can live without having, another Warhammer magazine in my life right now. But yeah, it's from the same people that bring us the Stormbringer magazine, which obviously I cover whenever I get a new set of issues, and is the same format. You get 4 issues every month for a set amount, or you can pay a premium amount and get some bonuses every few months. Overall, pretty good subscription. Issue 1 does come with both a captain and a winged Tyrannid Prime. So pretty good models, honestly, though if you got any of the starter boxes, you probably already have them. And yeah, the main gist of this is it's focusing primarily on Space Marines and Tyrannids. There is going to be plenty of other stuff. You can actually see in the main image, there's going to be some Chaos, there's going to be some Adeptus Mechanicus, some Orcs, some various different things from various different factions. Even Elves get a little bit of a lick in. Overall, very nice selection of units available, and for me, I think it's pretty good. We're also going to be getting an exclusive, just an exclusive Space Marine. This happened before. We did have, in the previous version of the Warhammer 40k magazine, have an exclusive Sergeant, I think it was, and this time it's an Infernus Marine Sergeant. So, same deal, just a different style of model, and yeah, looks pretty good. Got a flaming carcass of a Tyrannid under his foot. Looks pretty good overall, quite like him. And then, as I said before, there is the premium option, which you do get some pretty nice extra models. For paying that extra price, it does cost more. But yeah, you get a Dreadnought and a Hive Tyrant, I believe it is called. I'm never too familiar when it comes to the Tyrannid names. You also get, in Kit 2, a Demon Prince, and I'm not sure on what the elves are. I don't know. I'm not an elves fan. I've made this very clear. I don't know if they are. Kit 3, you do get the killer cans for the orcs, along with the heavy artillery from the Votan. And then for Kit 4, you get one of the interchangeable tanks from Adeptus Militarum, alongside the... Oh, what are they actually called? That's annoying, because I'm a Gene Stealer fan. But yeah, it's the one that comes with the Gene Father. I can't remember what the actual kit's called. It's the kit that comes with 5 different units, 5 different models. Do not remember what it's called. It's called like the Cult of the Archeon or something. It's something really random like that. But in any case, very nice premium rewards. I have already subscribed to premium personally, so I will be getting them, which is good for me because I don't think I own any of these units, despite the fact that most of these armies are armies that I at least have something for. Because I don't even have this version of the Dreadnought, because it's the Bruticus or whatever, or Brutus, or it's the melee focused one. I only have the ranged ones. So, yeah, very, very cool. But yeah, if you are interested, make sure to check the link in the description below to the article. It does, link over to the website to subscribe to it. And, yeah, it's a new subscription for 40k fans. Pretty nice, but, yeah, my experiences with them as a whole hasn't been great. I wouldn't recommend getting into this if you don't know what you're getting into. It does work out if you stay from start to finish cheaper than if you were to buy those units separately, but you've got to decide, do you want those units normally? For me, it works out pretty alright, because other than the elves, pretty much everything that you get is actually something that I would use or would want to buy at some point. I just, need to put that out there. it may not be ideal for everyone. I would not recommend it if you aren't, super happy to just receive a lot of units you probably won't care too much about for armies that you may not play. So keep that in mind. It's very good if you want to split it with a friend. With Stormbringer, I actually split it with my partner. I take all the Auric stuff, and she takes all of the Stormcast. So, it works out pretty well like that. But, if you don't have someone to split, if you are a Tyranid player and you don't have someone to give the Space Marine stuff to, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Same goes for vice versa. And obviously, all the other factions you might not care about. But, yeah, that is the new Combat Patrol subscription. If you're interested, check it out. If not, disregard everything I just said for the last 6 minutes. But moving over to Nova Open Preview, starting with the Age of Sigmar content, and I'm not going to go into too much detail of this, because honestly, it's a lot of Stormcast, and I don't care. I honestly, despite some of these models being excellent, really, I simply have had enough of seeing Stormcast reveals. It's every other AOS reveal, it feels like. But yeah, we do have a lot of new model reveals, including Iridan the Witness, who's a Stormcast riding on a griffin. It does look very, very cool, very imposing model, and I'm sure would be lovely to paint, especially those feathers. But Stormcast riding on a mount. We've seen this a million times before. Very nice Stormcast, very detailed, and very nice mount, and something a bit different. A griffin isn't something we see too often in AOS, but There's also Lord Vigilant on Morgriff, and it's the same model, just with a different build to it. But yeah, it's a griffin with a Stormcast on it. This one has a worse Stormcast, I'd say, but I almost want to say it's a better version of the Griffin, or Morgriff, as I'm sure they want us to call them. But very, very nice still. I do quite like them, but I've had enough of all the Stormcast stuff, and I'm sorry if that does mean that I'm just kind of glossing over things, but that's just how I feel. So, moving on, we also have a Lord Celestant, and she looks pretty cool. All female faces and helmets and stuff like that, so very nice to see that sort of, not variety, but that sort of representation available, and different options for hammers, swords, shields, just the usual Stormcast stuff, honestly. And honestly, I do quite like her, not the primary head, the one where she's like screaming, but the one where she's a bit more calm. I quite like that one. Obviously, the helmet design is obviously what I'd go for, but very nice helmetless options if you do so wish. Then we have the Lord Relictor, which is definitely a unit that exists already. I'm not going mad. This is something that I've seen that's just a pretty old model, but this guy looks absolutely excellent. I would love to turn this guy into any number of things for my Space Marines. But yeah, this is another great Stormcast that actually does look legitimately great. I love the skeleton on the staff, the whole skull motif of the helmet, the Grim Reaper hood. Just a lot of cool stuff going on there. But moving on to something that I'm less interested in, the Lord Terminus. He does have a nice little friend walking around with him, holding an hourglass. But otherwise, guy with big sword or big axe, depending on how you want to set him up. Otherwise, it's just a fancy Stormcast. It's not the most interesting thing in the world. But yeah, another model that I'm sure plenty of people will be interested in. And then we also have the Reclusians, which is 3 Stormcast guys which look pretty generic, along with 2 little friends. And we love to see little friends, obviously. One of them is a banner waver, one of them is an incense burner. And they look cool. And as for the actual Stormcast themselves, they look pretty generic. They all have maces and shields and options for axes as well. And they look fine. I don't have much else to say about it. Unfortunately, they are very generic Stormcast, so I just do not care too much. But yeah, very nice little kit. You get 5 models, so it is very nice. And they're not just 5 of the same thing. It's 3 of one and 2 of the other, so nice variety there. If, for me, it's not the most interesting in the world, but still pretty nice. We also have the Storm Strike Paladors, which are, I don't know what these things are, because they're griffins. Like, they're horse birds, but they don't have the wings. So I don't actually know what these things are, but it's more horse ride equivalents. They look cool. They look neat. I like the mounts. The actual mounts are pretty nice. The Stormcast riding on them are very generic once more. I do like the flag bearer, but even that is pretty standard for Stormcast, and yeah, not the most interesting thing in the world. I do quite like this alternate colour scheme, this like aquamarine, like turquoise colour with the jousting spear, as well as the one with the battle horn. I really do like those things. But once again, that's just because they're slightly different. They mix things up a little bit. Overall, not the most interesting characters for the Stormcast. And then I believe the last thing, that leaves us with the Stormreach portal. And new terrain piece. I'm sure it will have rules in game to actually do things, but I very rarely actually follow that sort of stuff personally. But yeah, looks very cool. I do quite like it. Could definitely work for some various terrain across any of your various games that you want to play in Warhammer, or just tabletop in general. And I could even see this being used pretty effectively in something like a D&D campaign. I think it looks very, very cool. You've got the different icons on either side, and just stuff like that. Just a lot of fun stuff going on. Very nice. I bet it would be a pain to paint that portal, but rewarding. I'm sure rewarding. But yeah, otherwise, we do have the battle tome and stuff, but that's all pretty standard stuff. Obviously, it's for the new edition of AOS and everything. But yeah, looks nice, looks cool, looks interesting. It's all Stormcast. I do not care. And I might turn the Lord Relictor into something Space Marine, because I really do like that model, and I don't care about Stormcast, so I may well turn that into a Space Marine, and I do not care what people think of that. But that's not all for the Nova Open. We also got some Blood Bowl news, and this being the return of Zharr-Naggrund Ziggurats, which are, of course, orcs. I love my orcs. I love my various teams of orcs, and this one's interesting. I'm not actually sure about half of them, because half of them are clearly grots, are clearly goblins. The other half, to me, look like either gnomes or dwarves, but I don't think they are, and I do not care enough to look into it personally. But honestly, every single model here is excellent. Like I've made no small secret or whatever you want to say that I don't like the game of Blood Bowl, but I absolutely adore the models. And these are some more excellent models, and this may just be my orc talking, the fact that I play orcs and I like my 40k orcs as well and stuff. But these guys look great. I really like them. I think they look really cool. The greenskins are awesome, honestly. And the other guys are interesting. I do quite like them. I like the weird helmets. They very much look chaosy, and I don't know if that's intentional, but yeah. There's also these half whatever they are, half horse or half cow, or I don't know. They're kind of like centaurs. I don't know how to describe them, but they definitely look interesting, and honestly, everything here is excellent. If I was a Blood Bowl player, this would definitely be something I'd be interested in, and that's really the highest praise I can give to a Blood Bowl kit. So there you go, brand new Zharr-Naggrund Ziggurats. I don't know what those words mean, and honestly, I'm happy not knowing. But that takes us out of the Nova Open preview and into some Middle-earth news, and this is a new model reveal for a named character whose name is copywritten, and I don't know how they got away with copywriting this name, but Wulf, spelt completely differently to how you'd expect it, brings the Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rohirrim, to Middle-earth strategy battle game, and this guy is another named character who looks absolutely excellent as per usual. He has his dual blades, or he can be mounted as well, so you have both options. And there's not much I can say about this guy, unfortunately. I do think he looks very nice. I think he would make a very nice assassin equivalent. I'm only using the word assassin because I can't remember the AOS equivalent to that. But he would make a very good one of those for the humans. But in any case, very, very nice new named character for your Middle-earth strategy game. And I always feel so bad talking about the Middle-earth stuff because I really do not know much about it. But their models are often pretty nice. I do quite like them. And, the best praise I can say is that, if I was playing the game, I would get them. Same as with most of the other modes that I and games that I don't actually play. But yeah, this guy looks great. I love the horse. The little armor on the face of the horse is excellent as well. The pelt all over him. I'm sure that horse would be a pain to paint. But yeah, honestly, it looks great. Both the on foot and mounted versions look excellent. And yeah, I wouldn't blame anyone at all for being interested in either of these. Or like I said, it's one kit. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if plenty of people are going to want to get Wulf. But yeah, that is all we have for Middle-earth. So it's not the monthly recap sort of thing, though I do think that is over now. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, we're building up more stuff for Rumour Engine. And yeah, this is just the newest thing to get. But finally, that leaves us with the last topic of the week, the Rumour Engine for the 27th of August 2024. And this is one of two things. It's either a blade or it's a crystal. And I'm going to say it's a crystal, and this is a terrain piece, and that's my final answer. I don't have anything else to say about it. It's lines. Honestly, because of the grayscaling, it's just lines. It could be absolutely anything. I could be completely wrong, with what I'm saying. But it looks like it could either be a pretty squared off blade or some sort of crystalline structure. And that's what I'm going with. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. It's always really unfortunate when Rumour Engines are this simple, because it means I just have nothing to say about them. But yeah, that is all I can go off. It's some lines. It kind of looks crystalline or sword-like. Could be either of those, could be neither of those. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. But yeah, that is the Rumour Engine. And with all that being said, that is going to be it for this episode of Warhammer Weekly. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe to the internet, and ring the bell so you never miss upload. Otherwise, comment below thoughts and feelings about any of the reveals that we've had this week. Are you going to be getting the new 40k subscription? I've had it for a long time, and I still have yet to get the first issue, which is fine. It's just taken a very long time. I subscribed to it a year ago. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it from me. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but we'll survive. I just want